Now, there are growing fears, a little bit closer to time this, growing fears that the NHS could be overloaded this winter, with some experts expecting heavy seasonal flu coupled with rising number of COVID cases, and they've coined the term twindemic. There you go. Well, it could lead to record backlogs and waiting times. I don't know about you, but I seem to be reading a story very similar to this, whether it was COVID or whether it was flu or whether it was just elderly people getting a cough or something, every single year. Every single year, it's record backlogs, waiting times. But anyway, let's speak now to Dr Laurence Buckman, who is the former chairman of the BMA's GPs Committee. Is this, thank you very much for joining me, look, is this a little bit like The Boy Who Cried Wolf? Every single year, it's, we're going to be overrun, we're going to be overrun, we're going to be overrun. It's winter, people get flu.
Yes, they do, but they don't get flu matched with COVID. For the last couple of years, we haven't got flu because we've all been staying at home and hiding away. Now we're not hiding away. The risk of a combination of the two, probably now relatively minor pandemics hitting us very badly is there. You're right about the autumnal threat every single year, and I go back, my entire career has been surrounded by autumnal threat to the NHS. But these two are unique. We've never had this before, and I think that is just another thing. It's not the only thing, but it's just another thing that's going to make the situation even worse, if you can believe that.
OK, all right. Well, what can we do to actually sort it out? Because I don't think many people in the British public will countenance doing anything like we did before in terms of restricting movement or visitations or socialisation in order to protect our beloved NHS.
Quite right. I think the restrictions are probably going to be relatively minimal unless the level of COVID is so huge that I can't anticipate that. But I don't think that will happen. I think what we need to do is all get vaccinated. I've had my 2 today, 1 in each arm. And I'm sure that's what we should be encouraging, certainly the over 65s and a whole list of people who are at risk. You can find out if you're at risk by looking at the government website. And if you are, get vaccinated. Indeed, get double jabbed so that you don't stand a risk of getting flu and COVID. For the rest of us...
You got jabbed to the max today, did you? You got your flu and your COVID in a oneer. Was it 1 in each arm or how did you do it?
One in each arm. Just lay back and think of England, and it was all over. And it was almost painless. I feel completely well, and I'm protected against 2 things, the combination of which will be...
Are you? Tell you what, if I talk to you in a week's time and you've got both flu and COVID, I'm going to raise serious questions about the validity of these drugs. What is more effective, the flu vaccine or the COVID vaccine, in your professional opinion?
The COVID vaccine.
Is more effective than the flu vaccine?
Yeah. But really? the combination of the two means, and you can get them both if you have them at the same day, otherwise you've got to leave a gap between them. Yeah. But if you have them both at once, 1 in each arm, the fact is the side effect profile is tiny. The benefits are enormous. You may get flu or COVID, but you won't get ill with either, and you won't have to isolate, and society won't get shut down like it was a few years ago. It'll be much, much easier for for everybody, for society as well as the NHS. You don't really want to be ill either. Forget whether there's a regulation that says you mustn't do this or you mustn't do that. Just why get ill if you can avoid it?
Yeah, just very lastly, I just want to say, just in terms of this now annual NHS surge that we tend to see, some members of the public might say, right, look, taxes have gone through the roof, or they certainly did before. We're paying off the pandemic. We're going to be paying off this cost of living crisis, and goodness gracious knows what's about to hit us on Friday with this fiscal event and everything that goes on from there on in. We cannot afford to be giving the NHS any more money either. Are people potentially going to have to just accept longer waiting times? Or, dare I say it, are people going to have to say to the NHS, maybe as unfashionable as this sounds, suck it up and deal with it?
Yes, I think I wouldn't put it quite the way you have, but I would certainly say that we have to accept that the NHS can't do everything for everybody. This isn't about money anymore. This is about workforce. There aren't enough of us working in the health service to cope with the demand, whether doctors or nurses or porters or anybody. We just don't have enough of anybody. And money won't fix that. This is an accident that was waiting to happen for 20 years, and now it's happened. And it's coincided with a pandemic and everything else that you know about. So the answer is, it's not about money. It's about organization and about improving delivery and explaining to the public it's not an all singing, all dancing service anymore, and it can't deliver to everybody who quite rightly thinks they need it.
Thank you.